Jay Powell finally relents. Let's talk about Jackson Hole on the weekly update. Okay, friends, let's talk about the Jackson Hole Bombshell. Here's what you need to know. First up, Jay Powell finally gives the market what it wants. And what the market wanted was some visibility on rate cuts. And this really, Jackson Hole, it's not the first time that he said these things, but it really sort of solidifies, hey, we're about to move into a continuation of the rate cutting cycle. Before we talk about that, though, let's take a look at the market, same way we've always been looking at it. Red is the S&P 500, orange is the 50-day moving average, purple is the 200, and what do you notice? Well, our uptrend continues pretty much unabated. There was an interesting development this week, so if you were looking at your stuff this week, you know that the early part of this week, the market traded very, very poorly. What I think was happening was investors were bracing for impact for Jackson Hole. If you'll remember, about 2 years ago, we sort of got caught with our pants down at Jackson Hole. I think it was 2020. No, maybe it was 3 years ago. It was 2022-ish, where he came in with a very hawkish tone at Jackson Hole, and the market didn't take that too well. So once bitten, twice shy, I think the market was bracing for impact at this year's Jackson Hole, and Jay Powell came off as somewhat dovish. I don't want to get too bombastic about what happened, but for the most part, Jay Powell reiterated things that he's already said. The market is cheering that today. We're back up to all-time highs, and the uptrend will continue unabated. Technically, this looks like a very strong quality uptrend here. We were starting to get some consolidation, digestion. I'm curious if that whole process is over yet. I don't think it is, but I'm open-minded to it. Here's what Jay Powell specifically said. He said that conditions may warrant interest rate cuts as the Fed proceeds carefully. And this was good because we've started to get some inflation data coming through with some of the tariff impact in it. We've also heard from corporate earning results saying, hey, price pushes are going to start in Q3, Q4. And so this was important for Jay Powell to recommit to rate cuts with all these confounding factors. He did so, the market's off to the races. So what does it all mean? Our Jackson Hole bombshell? Well, Jay Powell delivers the goods at Jackson Hole, recommitting to rate cuts despite all of this murkiness that's coming around now that tariff deals are finalized. And for the most part, there's going to be some margin and price pressures in Q3, Q4. Going into this speech, the market had been braced for impact. Now, if you are a long-term listener of the channel, then you know I love when the market's braced for pain because that means we're never going to get hurt. It's only when the market thinks that everything's going to be great and then we get surprised, that's where the damage happens. So I was welcoming this brace for impact going into Jackson Hole. It was a live meeting. Although, it's not like Jay Powell could have said anything differently. The dissents are starting to mount at every meeting as we're holding interest rates steady. So he was sort of forced into this one way or another. This was actually not a Trump effect, I don't believe. With Jackson Hole out of the way, the market is resuming its rising trend. That's all good. But we do want to not go too crazy in the casino because we are still in the spooky season for the market. Bad stuff tends to happen in the back half of August all the way through to maybe 3/4 of the way through October. That's the spooky season, and that's where we are. It will be interesting to see how the rest of the fall goes. I think it would be okay to have some more consolidation during this period, but I'm open-minded to rate cuts just kind of running over that whole process. So we'll see how it goes. There you go. That's our Jackson Hole bombshell. Markets are at all-time highs, and we're having a great day. I'll see you next week for the news review. Take care. Okay, friends, that was the video. Hope you liked it. If you found it informative, good, entertaining, I'd love if you could scroll down here beneath the video and give me a like there. It helps us out with the algorithm. And then if you want to be notified first of anything new that we upload to the channel, if you come over here, click subscribe, you'll be the first to know as soon as we upload anything. Appreciate it. See you soon.